All right, so I'm here to help you with the top 10 things people wish they would have known before they got into goats, and we're on number 10. Now, if you're one of those people that are still watching, thank you. I appreciate that you are that kind of person that wants to learn more and to do better at the husbandry of owning goats. So I acknowledge you. Thank you for that. Thank you for on behalf of your animals as well. Number 10 is expense and investment. We're here to talk about the investment that it takes to get into goats and what your expenses are going to look like, because it is important to budget for this and what does it look like. So I understand that. Now remember, I teach people how to raise goats, and we have courses that'll help you to manage this and to make better decisions. How to raise a baby goat, how to raise a packer, run a milking operation, how to help a goat have a baby. All these things that if you do wrong are very expensive, but you save money if you do it right, because you don't have to pay a vet and it doesn't get expensive because you're doing it right. So I would tell you, as a very educated goat owner, you will have minimal expenses on things like vet care or problems. As a new goat owner, if you do it wrong, you'll have tons. It's very important to raise a goat well and to have the proper nutrition and all those sorts of things. So one of the biggest investments that you're going to make is actually you're going to invest more in your education than you are in the goat, because goats are cheap. You can really buy a goat basically from 50 to 500 bucks. Certainly there are elite level goats that you're going to pay 2,000 for, but the majority of goats out there are 100 to 300 bucks. You can get a doe or a wether, you can raise a meat goat or a milk goat. The goat, it is not the expense. It's the food, the vet care, the shelters, the management, the feeding, all those different things, the raw cost. Now, I do like to tell people at current hay rates in my area, I'm paying about $8 a bale for a 100-pound bale, so you can figure the price per ton. And it costs me about 350 to 400 bucks a year per doe to feed her if I dry lot her the whole season. And then if I raise a wether, it'll cost less, because does just eat more than wethers by a long ways, even they're bigger. So I will tell you that dry lotting a big doe who's making a baby and making milk all year long is going to cost you 350 to 450 bucks a year to feed her. So you got to remember you got that going on too, per your number of goats. As far as vet care, honestly, if you do it right and your education, you're going to spend maybe a couple $100 a year, mostly of your own, doing your own vet care, because I'll teach you. If you choose vets, great, it's just super expensive. So to get them to show up your ranch is going to cost you 100 to 150 bucks, and then the services are there. It's really easy for them to show up, take care of a couple of things, and have it be 500 bucks. Super simple. If you bought every course on my entire website, you still wouldn't spend 500 bucks. So that's why I'm saying get educated. So invest in your education. Buy good goats. Don't forget, you guys, you gotta buy goats that are disease-free. There is so much CL, CAE, and all the other stuff running through goats that you have to come from a tested source. You need to know that you have a disease-free herd. You need to know how to do that. I will teach you how to do that, but you need to know when you're selecting. You need to be getting goats from somebody who's a professional, that has tested them, that knows that they're healthy and that all is good. If they can't show you testing papers, then they haven't done it. So things like that are important to know. So your expense on goats are nowhere near your monthly expenses in time and energy and feed, but that's really what you're going to want to count on in terms of your expense, both in time and money. So I hope you find that helpful. And at the same time, I really want to encourage you. Goats are going to be one of the most beautiful blessings that you ever raise. And I help hundreds and thousands of people raise baby goats and into adults and milking programs and packers and everything else. I can tell you from experience, when people plug into the system, it's easy, super easy. When they don't, it's expensive and hard. So there you go. So I'm Marc Warnke. I hope you find this helpful. I'm looking forward to helping you with raising your goats. It is one of the most rewarding, beautiful things you will do, is to go down that road of babies and milk and having a homestead, and I can't say enough about it. And it's a great animal to choose. I would choose it over a cow in a heartbeat. But at the same time, you need to learn. So look forward to it as a blessing, as a fun experiment, as a way to become more knowledgeable about a wider subject. And to be honest with you, the way the world is, if you understand the subject of how to feed yourself with your land, pretty important subject. So I hope you find that helpful. Marc Warnke, the Goat Guy, signing out.